What is going on, WWE fans? It is WWE at Home 219 here. My voice might sound a little different. I was in Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana University this weekend at the basketball game. Lost my little bit of my voice there, but still here to give you a Raw review from February 4th, 2013. Now, Raw would start off with CM Punk comes storming out, basically saying that if the fans they didn't really see him in that Paul Heyman video, that CM Punk had nothing to do with this whole Shield thing, and that he wasn't the one making deals with the Shield. Uh, and he also says it wasn't Paul Heyman in the video, but it's obviously and pretty clearly you could see that Paul Heyman is in that clip. Booker T would then come out and say he was going to leave it up to the WWE Universe, and they get the Raw active pick for CM Punk's opponent, and it would be the main event match of the night. You could either pick Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, or Chris Jericho, and I myself picked Chris Jericho. This opening segment was pretty solid. I'll give it a B just because CM Punk's mic skills are above all the rest, and he's the best heel in WWE today. And then we would see our first wrestling matchup of the night, Ryback versus the United States champion Antonio Cesaro. I've seen this matchup a lot. It's starting to get a little boring. Cesaro tried walking away like usually he does against Ryback. Cesaro looked good as always, though. He's always one of the best wrestlers that we have on Raw. But a shell shock would win it for Ryback. An average matchup. It was like what we usually see with these two, and I'll give it a C. So then we move into Santino versus Jack Swagger. This is his first Raw back since we've seen him in September. Basically, Jack Swagger squash match as he would defeat Santino with the new Patriot lock that he calls it now, as it was formerly known as the ankle lock. He won it fast, like I said. I'll just give it a D. It's just basically to build up Swagger as he's making his return to WWE. Then we'd see the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio take on Cody Rhodes. The crowd tonight in Atlanta was very awful. I did not like the crowd whatsoever, and they were very boring in this matchup. Del Rio was basically in control this whole time. He won via cross arm breaker. I'll give it a D plus. So then we'd see Rey Mysterio take on one half of the tag team champions, Daniel Bryan. These two are very exciting in the ring when they get the chance to match up, whether it be in tag team play or in singles competition. It was a very cool start to the matchup. Once again, the crowd was dead. 619 was turned into the no lock as Daniel Bryan would defeat Rey Mysterio. I'll give the matchup a B just because, like I said, those two are high flying, very fast, and good technical wrestlers. But then after the matchup, we'd finally see the return of Mark Henry, which was very cool as he would attack both these men and Sin Cara. Sin Cara would try to come to the aid of Rey Mysterio, but Mark Henry would lay waste to these three competitors as looks like the Hall of Pain is back and here to stay. That was very cool to see the Rey Mysterio, or not the Rey Mysterio, the Mark Henry return. So the Mark Henry return and the way he dominated those three, I'll give an A. This would then lead us into Sheamus taking on the other half of the tag team champions, Kane. Uh, Plenty of reversals in this matchup. Very slow pace because these are two big men. Daniel Bryan would distract Kane though, and that would lead into the bro kick. An average matchup that I'll give a C minus as Sheamus beats Kane, and I'll give it, like I said, a C minus. So then we'd see this Miz TV segment with Paul Heyman. It was basically Paul saying that he was denying that he was telling Brock to come to his aid. Vicky would then come out and say to Paul that and to everybody else that she told Brock Lesnar to return to this matchup. It was a pretty boring segment, but then we'd see Brock Lesnar. Here comes the pain, and he would basically destroy the Miz. Very awesome to see Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw, and I'll give that segment a B just because Brock Lesnar saved it. So then we'd see Randy Orton take on the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett for the 100th time, it seemed like, in the past 2 years. They would tell us, though, that Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan are a lock for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and we'll see those three compete. And we don't know the other three competitors yet. Sorry for that interruption. My brother was opening up the door. But the Randy Orton Wade Barrett matchup, it was all right. This matchup's kind of getting boring. It was awesome at the beginning as these two would always match up, but it was an average matchup. RKO would win it. I'll give it a C. So then we'd see our former WWE champion CM Punk take on Chris Jericho. The crowd finally comes alive in this final wrestling match of the night. Punk took control leading into the commercial break. It was a very cool matchup to watch. A lot of reversals. It picked up late, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. Walls of Jericho's flying knees from CM Punk. The flying elbows reversed, but the GTS would end up winning it for the former WWE champion as CM Punk defeats Y2J. in our final wrestling matchup on Monday Night Raw, which I'll give an A. It was an awesome match. These two always put on great matches. So then they would announce that Bruno Sammartino would be in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2013, well deserved as he was the champion for 8 years. Obviously, I wasn't born during this time, but a guy that can be champion for 8 years definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Uh, After that, we'd see like a Del Rio and Show fight in the hotel room, as we probably would expect that. It was nothing important, but whatever. I just wanted to throw that in there because that did happen on Monday Night Raw. So then the final segment, as I was expecting to see the Cena just come out first, but we'd see Brad Maddox come out before Cena and the Shield. Basically say he was going to teach the Shield some justice as he was pissed off that the Shield jumped him in that little video segment we saw with Paul Heyman in the back. The Shield would slowly come down, and then they would finally attack Brad Maddox, giving him the triple power bomb. Then we'd see Cena come from the crowd as his music would kick in. Then we'd hear Ryback's music kick in, Sheamus's music kick in as they would come in through the crowd just like the Shield does. Very creative way to end Raw as we'd see Sheamus, Ryback, and Cena try to get at the Shield. The Shield would try to escape into the back, but the faces of the WWE, the good guys, would push the Shield back into the ring as Sheamus, Ryback, and Cena would start ganging up on the Shield and get their last word in there as the faces send off the Shield back into the crowd. The ending segment, I'll give a B. This is probably foreshadowing a matchup at Elimination Chamber between Sheamus, Ryback, Cena versus the Shield, which I wouldn't mind. Even though there was no Rock tonight and no Ziggler, it was still a pretty awesome, I mean, I wouldn't say awesome, but pretty solid Raw, as we haven't seen a lot of good Raws in the past. But I will give this Raw a C+, as I enjoyed Raw tonight, and it wasn't as boring as predictable as always. So, like this video and subscribe to my channel, guys. Follow me at Twitter at Let's Talk _WWE, and take it easy.